Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello, everyone.
I got Toy Story stuck in my head when Woody comes out of the toy box and he's lost his hat. Has anyone seen my hat? And a little shark comes up. Howdy, howdy, howdy. So I say that a lot now. Howdy, howdy, howdy. But anyways, howdy. Hope everyone's having a great night. It is the first Tuesday of the month. It's officially March, believe it or not. I think here in Wisconsin, at least in my neck of the woods, it's supposed to snow tomorrow. And I think we'll probably get like an inch or so. I think we're like kind of on the cusp of the 1 to 3 inches and the less than 1 inch. So depending on which way the wind blows, we'll be in one of those areas. But it's pretty nice today. It was supposed to rain, but it didn't rain by us. It just melted a lot getting ready for the snow, I think. So, but first Tuesday of the month, we have a reading sprints. So we're glad you're here joining us. If you want to share in the comments what you are reading, I know I myself will probably start with our March pick, which is Caddie Woodlawn. But I might go in between this book and another book that I'm reading. So we'll see how the night progresses. But that's what I'm going to be reading. How about you, Laura?
I'm going to finish up a couple of other books I'm sort of near the end of first. And then if I have time, I'll start Caddie. But I feel like feeling I won't. I'll just keep reading other things that are in the middle of,
And if you're joining us too and you're not reading anything, that's super okay. I did some productivity sprints earlier today because I just needed to get some stuff done. So I did 20-minute sprints of like getting household stuff done. So, but before we jump into all of that, we have to talk about what's coming up next month. So in the month of April, we have some nonfiction books that we'd like to share with you that were presented to us by one of our members. And Laura is going to tell you all about those options. There'll be 3 books. We'll put a poll in our community tab and you'll be able to vote on which one you'd like us all to read in April. So Laura, if you would share with us our books.
Yep, these are all essentially memoirs of a kind. They're all very different. So the first one up is called Something Wholesale, My Life and Times in the Rag Trade by Eric Newby. Veteran travel writer Eric Newby has a massive following and is cherished as the forefather of the modern comic travel book. However, less known are his adventures during the years he spent as an apprentice and commercial buyer in the improbable trade of women's fashion. From his repatriation as a prisoner of war in 1945 to his writing of the best-selling A Short Walk in the Hindu Kush in 1956, Eric Newby's years as a commercial traveler in the world of haute couture were as full of adventure and oddity as any during his time as travel editor for The Observer. Something Wholesale is Newby's hilarious and wonderfully chaotic tale of the disorder that was his life as an apprentice to the family garment firm of Lane and Newby, including hilariously recounted escapades with sudden onset wool allergies, waist-deep predicaments in tissue paper, and the soul-destroying task of matching buttons. In addition to the charming chaos of his work in the family business, it is also a warm and loving portrait of his father, a delightfully eccentric gentleman who managed to spend more energy avoiding and actively participating in disasters than he did in preserving his business. With its quick wit, self-deprecating charm, and splendidly fascinating detail, this is vintage Newby, only with a garment bag in place of a well-worn suitcase. I'm not sure when this was originally published. The edition I have was published in 2010, the one I'm looking at, and it's roughly 240 pages, so not too long. Next up is If the Spirit Moves You, Life and Love After Death by Justine, I think it's Picardie, I'm not sure. Told in a series of journal entries, a touching memoir traces a year in the life of the author as she deals with the death of her sister from breast cancer, detailing the many important people in her life, including her parents, her husband, her children, and the spiritualists she consults, and revealing how a bond between sisters defies death and lasts forever. This is from 2002, and it's just under 300 pages. And the last option we have is called Swan River, a Family Memoir by David Reynolds. As a child, David Reynolds developed a fascination with the mysterious disappearance of his long-dead grandfather. He interrogated relatives, read diaries, and slowly pieced together a spellbinding story. The trail led from Dalston in London's East End to a remote town on the edge of the Canadian prairies by way of a tragic romance in Victorian London and the harsh life of an impoverished exile. Reynolds tells how he unearthed the colorful story of his East End forebears as he came of age in London in the swinging 60s. Family members from 4 generations are beautifully drawn, from his great aunt, a music hall artiste, to Reynolds' own father, a warm-hearted monster. This was published in 2003 and is 448 pages, so a bit chunkier. So those are our options. We have family memoir of all over the place in the world. We've got a memoir about death from breast cancer, cheery, and then we have a well-known travel writer talking about his family business, working in fashion. So yeah, quite a mixed bag in all sorts of ways, lengths and everything. And yeah, whatever one gets picked will be really interesting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Like a delightful grouping of books.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Lily. Nice to see you here. Looks like you'll
Lily.
Last Garden in England.
Nice.
That sounds like a very interesting book. Last Garden in England. Very interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up. So thank you for joining us. So I will get those titles up on our community tab, and then per usual we give you about 2 weeks to vote on those, and then I usually post them in Instagram and our Voxer group. But yeah, so tonight, like I said, I'm going to start with Caddie Woodlawn. We'll see how far I get into it, and then maybe switch to something else. But I think we've been doing like 25-minute sprints. Has that worked out okay? We want to keep it at 25? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, well, let's jump right into our first one. We're at the 7, so let's just pretend it's 10 so we can do the math a little bit easier, and we'll go to 35.
That sounds good.
Okay, sounds good.
Excellent.
I will find a nice ASMR, mute ourselves, and happy reading. We'll see you in 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Looks like Andy stopped by to say hi. She's babysitting tonight.
Oh, hi, Andy.
Wave. So hello, if you're seeing this, we appreciate
Have fun with the kids.
Yeah. I do have the April book picks up on our community tab, so feel free to jump over there anytime in the next 2 weeks to pick on which book you would like to read.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do?
Good. Let's see. Oh shoot, there's not pages here. I think I got about 20 pages read. I think I am working on finishing up Grimoire Girl by Hilary Burton Morgan. Here's the cover. So, yeah, not too much left to go. How about you?
So my kids were screaming bloody murder, so I went downstairs to find out what was going on. So that took up most of the time, and then I put those things in the community tab. So I only got about 8 pages read. And yeah, they jump right into we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
In this book. I didn't realize, I guess, that this is a Wisconsin book.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
Nope, not at all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
No, I like I said, this was not a book that was ever on my radar. I never read it as a kid. I vaguely remember hearing the name, but like it never crossed paths with me at all.
Weird.
So when I started reading, I was like, because the dedication is literally to the grandma, which is who this is. To Graham, whose tales of her childhood in Wisconsin gave a lonely little girl many happy hours. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it's where she was born and raised is about a half an hour from Pepin, where Laura Ingalls Wilder grew up, and where stuff were set. So similar area. I think Caddie is like 15 years younger than Laura Ingalls Wilder, so they're kind of a similar time and age, but not totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything is here in Wisconsin.
Yeah. That's cool. It sounds like, I mean, I don't know if they ever mention the actual city or anything, but it sounds like it's like Eau Claire, La Crosse, Western, that kind of stuff.
Close to Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah, Wisconsin Rapids, that kind of thing. So, anywho, it looks like Debbie's here with us. Hi, Debbie. Welcome.
Oh, hi, Debbie.
Let us know what
your picture
you're reading.
Let's see. That's nice. I like that picture of you. That's nice.
Oh, so with it just turning to March, let's talk a little bit about maybe what we have read. Now, for book club that we read in February, what did we read? We read, the beginning of spring.
Yeah.
Yep. And then did you have any other luck in reading in February?
I read that book, and I read, I think it's the second book in the Dresden Files series by Jim Butcher. I think those were the only 2 books I read in February. I just really did not read anything. So, yeah.
Sometimes we have months like that, though.
I know. I think I read like 18 or something in January, and then I read 2 in February.
Yeah. So even if your book goal is 100 books in the month or in the year, you're still ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I am. I think 5 books ahead. So
yeah. So
yeah, it's all right. And you read a bunch of stuff. I know some romance stuff. I know you've been reading a lot of those and fantasy.
Yeah. Before I just didn't want to lose this, but she said that's her daughter.
Nice.
Michigan Maritime Museum.
Where is that museum? Because I feel like I may have been there on a family vacation when I was a kid. I know I was at Maritime Museum, like in, is it Menominee, like the city that's right on the border of the UP and Wisconsin. You cut through it to get to Escanaba. There's a museum there that I know I've been at with. So I got a ship's necklace when I was a little kid. We visited. I remember that. But we also visited the or part of Michigan too.
I think it's funny how, like, so I don't know if this is like this for you, or maybe it was just because it was us. But so my grandma at one point, when we were young kids, she lived in Goodman, Wisconsin, which is way up north. So far up north that it's literally like a 15-minute drive to go over the border to Michigan. And a lot of the times what we would do is she would go to Michigan to buy certain things because I think the tax was different, or it was something. I can't remember. I was young. But I remember it being like, you felt like you were like a usurper, like you were like sneaking into another country kind of thing, but then not feel like that when you cross over to like Illinois or Minnesota. But it was like, it always just felt, because it was like, I think it was Iron Mountain. And you just felt like it was like secret, because it was all these back roads. You'd like go through all these back roads, and then all of a sudden you're in Iron Mountain, and it was like this sprawling city. She always took us to the dollar store and we could pick out a few items, and it was like, and there was a time difference. And then we would come back and it was like we were going through time. It was so cool. Like, again, I'm like 10 when this is happening. But I don't know. Have you ever had that happen where, like, I don't know, I just feel like anytime we went to Illinois, it was like, we're crossing the border. When we went to Minnesota, we're crossing the border. But man, when we went to Michigan, time changed, taxes were different. We'd always take our recycling, because my grandpa always collected all the cans and all the bottles and stuff.
Sure, and
you'd get a lot more in Michigan.
Yeah, you really do.
So we would drive his truck, and we'd be in the bed of the truck, which, I mean, you'd get arrested now if you had kids in the back with no seatbelts or seats, or, like, that was crazy.
Yeah, my great-grandmother on my mom's side was from sort of that same area, like closer to the border of the UP, and like not too far from Iron Mountain. And my mom, I remember, was going up there and saying some similar things. And we went up to the very top of Wisconsin. Starts with an A. The city, I'm having such a blank on names, I apologize. But it was my my uncle's college roommate's parents lived there in the city at the very like tip of Wisconsin, like almost on Lake Superior. So we drove up to visit them a couple of times, and we would again go over to Michigan, and same kind of thing. It felt different, I think, because it's so forested and it is so rural that it does feel a little like you're sneaky everywhere, Yeah, there's something about up north and being in like vast wooded areas that aren't very populated that is sort of magical,
Yeah, that's a word for it. I also remember in that same like time frame, my mom, when we would get there, it was so rural. There's like nothing. There's hardly, at the time, there was hardly even like a gas station, and it certainly wasn't open overnight. But my mom, when we would visit, she would be like, "Oh, I need to run to the border," which at the time, because it was the 90s, what did that mean?
Taco Bell.
Yes. In my kid head, I'm like, we can't go over the border. Like, why do you want to do that right now? It's the middle of the night. And like, no, Mom, you can't go over the border. It's too far. Like, I'm literally thinking like she's going to try to cross the border of like the state or something. No, she would always say that, I got to run to the border. It just was like, she loves Taco Bell. Yeah, I got to run to the border. Yep. And in my head, I always was so literal. Of course, because you're a kid, so. But now I think that's funny. And now if you say that now, no one knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No one knows what you're talking about. So, anyhow. No, reading for February, I got stuck in a rabbit hole of horrible romantasy. That it just sucked so much of my life away. So yeah, I read 600-page books. And then DNF'd the series. I had 7, 8, 9, 3 books left, and just decided I couldn't do it anymore because they sucked. Like, and the thing is like, obviously I read 6 of them, so they didn't suck that bad, but they did. I think, and I've been like this since I was a kid, I love a continuation of a story. I always want to know where the characters go. Like, what happens to the characters? Like, what are they going to do tomorrow? So, like, what happened is I got too involved with certain plot lines and certain characters or couples, and that was like, okay, well, it'll get better in the next book, or something good will happen to them in the next book. And then finally, like, it just got to a point where I'm like, it's gonna take all of these books for anything good to happen, and I'm over it. I can't do it anymore. So I stopped reading. If you're interested, it's called The Zodiac Academy, and if I could go back into the future or into the past and tell my past self not to read it, I would, because it was a lot of wasted time. But anywho, I also read our book club book. I also read, one that was actually really good. Blood Over Brighthaven. So this standalone fantasy by M.L. Wang, and it was fantastic. I got a little caught up in the beginning. It was kind of like slow. I wouldn't say it was boring, but it was like just slow paced and a little bit too technical for me. But then once it really started to hit its stride, I'd say, at the 50% mark, then it was like really like, it was good. I liked it a lot. And I think the parallelism of it being so close to like reality of like what discrimination looks like and what people can do about it, and when you do something, what is sacrifice, what is the right thing to do, what is the right thing to do in front of a god, like it was very thought-provoking. And I think, I see a lot of times on like the internet stupid reels of people kind of demonizing fiction reading compared to nonfiction reading, saying that you don't really learn anything when you read fiction, when in fact, I think there is an enormous argument that you absolutely do, because of books like this, where it's really exploring these really tough topics and kind of like exposing them for what they are in the safety of fantasy. You know what I mean? So I was pretty impressed with that book. I think that should be like a book in a classroom. Like, I really do think so. So I thought that was really good. And then I finished Warbreaker, which was super boring. That was so boring to me. So I feel bad because I know a lot of people really like Brandon Sanderson, but that particular book was a snooze fest.
Are you going to unhaul it?
What's that?
Are you going to unhaul it?
Oh, I don't own it. I just...
I thought you had a mass market.
No, Name of the Wind.
Gotcha.
I didn't finish that one yet. I'm still working on it. So, yeah. But... Do you have any plans for any more middle grade this month?
Well, maybe. So, in my quest to find my copy of Caddie Woodlawn, I know I have another one, by the way. I just can't, but I found one, which is the important thing. I have a small shelf of middle grade. For a while, when the first maybe 10 to 15 years I lived in this house, I separated things more by genre than by anything else for lots of things. So I have a middle grade shelf that is now incomplete because now I just shove stuff wherever it fits alphabetically. That doesn't matter to me. So I've got some stuff there I haven't seen in a while because all my shelves are double stacked. Oops. And one fell on my foot, and the other one I mentioned last week. So I thought I should maybe read these two. So the one I mentioned last week is The Trumpeter of Krakow by Eric P. Kelly. Here's the cover I have, which this looks like the castle in Prague to me, like very much. I don't know Krakow's anything about Krakow really, aside from its name and loosely where it is on a map. but I just thought that was kind of weird. I always thought it was set in Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic, whatever, but I guess not. So this, hopefully, maybe. And the one that fell on my foot is Adam of the Road. So this is by, oh God, Elizabeth Janet Gray. It's an ex-library book, and it won the Newbery in 1943. I don't know what it's about at all, but I just bought it at a sale, partially because it's got really neat insides that are unfortunately destroyed by reference and stuff, but the cool map of like the English countryside, map of the things, and then also in the back there is the card and everything, so like it's still here. So yeah, the nerd in me was thrilled about that. So let's see. Adam's only 11. Oh no, his beloved dog Nick was stolen, and Roger, don't know who Roger is, disappeared, and he found himself traveling alone along these same great roads, searching the fairs and market towns for his father and his dog. Oh God, here's a story of 13th century England, so absorbing and lively that for all its authenticity, it scarcely seems historical. Yeah, maybe I can't read this. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's got illustrations.
Good luck.
Weird. And it's really big print. Like,
Good luck.
well, I'll try it. Thanks.
Try a chapter.
Yeah, and if nothing else, then I can get rid of it, and that's fine.
Try a chapter until you hit a chapter you don't like, and then DNF it.
Yeah. I don't know. So that's the only things that are right now pulled out. Maybe I'll start this tonight and try this. If I can finish this book. Yeah, so I don't know. There's lots of things on my shelf I would love to read, but those are the only two that I've pulled out. I know you said to me that you wanted to read a lot more middle grade this month, right?
Yeah.
Specific?
I started reading a Rick Riordan book. It's a first in that series, the Kane Chronicles. It's Red Pyramid. So it's based, so you know, like Percy Jackson, it's like the Greek mythology. Mm-hmm. So Red Pyramid or the Kane Chronicles encompasses Egyptian mythology.
Oh, cool.
Or history. And so I started that, and it's good. It reads, you know, very similarly to Percy Jackson, you know, kids, and they're getting involved in, you know, crazy stuff. So I'm reading that. I did pick up a few books from the library, but like, I don't know if I'm feeling them right now. But we'll see. And then I do have 2 comic books that I need to pick up from the library that I forgot about. So I should probably do that too. But yeah, no, I'd like to. I accidentally just fell down my Grace Goodwin rabbit hole again. So I read a book yesterday, and now I'm reading one again today. So like those kind of stalled my Red Pyramid, but I'll get back to it. Excuse me. But I have a very extensive middle grade shelf downstairs that I very rarely go to. So I probably should look at that and see what books on there that I'd like to read. I keep wanting to pick up Keepers of the Lost Cities, but I think because it's so big that I'm really like, I don't know if I want to start that, because I'd like, for me, for middle grade March, I don't know why, I always want like the quantity of books to be higher than the page, I want to read more than just one middle grade book. And because that's so big, I'm like, I could read that anytime. But for middle grade March, I feel like I want like diversity. Like I want a bunch of different books, because it's like the 1 month that I feel like a complete carte blanche of like, I can read all the middle grade I want and I won't be judged. And not to say that you can't read middle grade, but it's just me, this weird, like, because every other month I'm trying to read way other books. So, and then because of Libby and all of the ways that they let things happen, I'm also reading the 4th Ektar book, which is The House of Silver and Flames. And then I'm also needing to start the Throne of Glass, which is the other series. That's the first in the other series. So, like, it's going to be a crazy reading month. Hopefully I can get everything done. Yeah. But I really do want to get a bunch of middle grade read. So, there's that. Yeah. But Debbie did mention it's in South Haven.
Oh, I have been there, actually.
Yeah.
Been a while.
She lives in Cincinnati, and the daughter and husband moved there. In our case, not a time difference.
Nice.
There you
go. Nice.
Yeah. When I got my master's degree, I got it through Tiffin University, which is in Tiffin, Ohio. Yeah. So I traveled down there for the graduation ceremony, and there was a time change. It was like 6 hours, I think, was what it was. It was a terrible drive because we brought my parents, and I was just all shoved into a car. And this was a while. This is back in 2019, but oy. Come to think of it, that was probably the last graduation ceremony before. Yeah, probably before COVID. Yeah, because then right after that we went to Europe. My then boyfriend came home as my fiance, and then got married during COVID, basically. So anyhow, let's get another reading sprint in here. Yeah. I'm going to finish the current chapter I'm on in Caddie Woodlawn, and then I'm going to go to my other book. It looks like I have 2 pages left of Caddie Woodlawn, but yeah, I'm gonna. My headspace is not really here, so I'm gonna switch over and see how far I can get. I'd really kind of like to finish that book so that it's like off of my plate, and then I can get back to all the other books that I want to read. Okay, so it's 58. Let's pretend like it's the whole hour. So 25 is when we'll come back.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Happy reading. I'm sorry. I got way into my book and forgot to monitor the time. So we got a few extra minutes of reading in there. Let us know in the comments what you are reading tonight. I was reading our March book, Caddie Woodlawn, but I switched over to a book I started this morning because I'm not really in the headspace yet for this because my head is still in this other book. So I had to jump over there and keep reading. And I'm at 61%. So I will probably finish it tonight.
Sorry, I didn't know what time it was.
No, I literally was like reading and the next chapter started and I took a drink and I just looked at the time and I was like, whoa, I'm 5 minutes late.
Oh.
I like got completely sucked in and forgot where I was for a minute.
Yeah.
How did you do during your time?
Good, I finished the book.
Good.
That's excellent. So I got up initially to grab my 52 book club journal so I could write it down right away. Mm-hmm. And I was like, crap, I wanted to make tea earlier. So I just went to start tea. And I thought I heard you talking, but I was like, nah, it's so loud in my kitchen. I'm so far away. I just walked back and I was like, oh, crap. The water's boiling.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, as you know, so I'm reading this Grace Goodwin book called Fearless. And as you recall from reading this series of books, I have just hit the point where everything will just like, the ending, how everything kind of just hits the fan and like it all just snowballs until the ending. That's what I've just hit. So once I start reading it again, it's all just going to like be super chaotic and crazy. So yeah, space and aliens, man. You're all crazy.
Yeah.
But it'll be nice to have this done for today and move on to something else.
Yeah.
Because, But it's funny because you had mentioned that you had reprinted the list.
Yeah.
I had done that. And I, like recolor coordinated it. So it used to look like this, like really like not very well. And now it looks like this. Like super like I have like what kind of alien they are, what their names are, And then like if there's anything like special that I wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I'm such a dork. Like, I don't think I've ever printed out a list of books before and done this much work.
Yeah.
But the books that I'm reading now are on the second page.
Mm-hmm.
And so really, out of all of the books, I think I'm only missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then whatever's new.
That's not bad at all.
I know. Out of what? There's like 60 some odd books.
I think so, yeah.
On here. Doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I've never done this kind of.
Yeah. Isn't it fun?
No, this is like.
It's fun. No, it's fun.
This is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, so it'll be nice to finish that, and then I can move on to other things. I think the thing that I really like, well, I mean, for me, okay, so I'm going to explain it. The overall and overarching story of this is extremely interesting.
It is.
It's so like there's so many little like cracks, like it just goes everywhere. So each book you read, you're like learning more and more and more about it, and then all the other stuff is just fun because you're like, oh.
Right.
But it's just regurgitated scenes over and over again. It's the
Pretty
same
much, yeah.
over and over again with different names.
Right, and different kinds of aliens. Like once there's been like one alien scene, then all those alien scenes are pretty much the same. And a different kind of alien, then all those are the same. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so I just really like finding out about what is happening overall. And because she just keeps writing more books, it's like, is there ever going to be like the end? Like,
Mm-hmm.
is there ever going to be like, is it going to ever finish? And I don't know. I don't think it will. I don't. It's not really coming. It's not really. Nothing's really come to like. You know when you know it's close to the end, like, oh, this is gonna be the final battle. No, I mean we're still just lingering on. So, hey, good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her. But yeah, and I feel like when I read them, I feel very accomplished because you can read them in a day. Like, it doesn't take long. I think. Because Kindle always like can tell you what your reading speed is, so it'll tell you how long it'll take you to read the book, and it's like 4 hours. So it's not a huge sacrifice to whip through them. So that's nice. But yeah, I took a big break from him because basically I read like a lot of them in December.
Yeah.
A lot. Like pretty much almost the entire series. And then nothing until now. So I took a big break. But I just didn't have access to any of them free, so it is what it is. But yeah. Jump from alien sex to middle grade.
Normal day reading for me. Just usual. Throw in some nature writing, nonfiction, you're right there.
There you go. Yeah, not my thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Too funny.
It's all good.
I feel like I'm in this like mood to have snacks all the time. Do you ever get into like where like I'll go into really long streaks where like I don't want sweet stuff, and then all of a sudden I'm in like really long streaks of like wanting just like really big pieces of bread. And like lately I've just been snacky. Like I'm usually not a big chip eater, but all I've been wanting is like Chex Mix. Like that's all I want is Chex Mix. Like the little pieces of Chex Mix. Not like all the pretzels and all this stuff. Yeah. Just the flavored Chex cereal.
I know. Only one time did I ever make Chex Mix for myself, and it was only with the different Chex Mix, like rice and corn or whatever. It was just those, and then I finally found, I probably couldn't find them, the garlic chips, so I threw those in too. But like that's all it was. It was the best Chex Mix ever because the other stuff is just filler. I don't want that stuff. It's not that crunchy. Like I don't need those cracker sticks. I don't want pretzels. No.
Yeah, I could do without the pretzels. So we make Chex Mix every year at Christmas time, which is not like a Christmas snack, but we make it at Christmas. Like it's what we do. And we always make a double batch, and we always or no, we don't make a double batch because it's a really big batch, but we double the seasoning because I really think you could even triple the seasoning because like it doesn't really, it's a lot of cereal. It's a lot. It's 3 boxes of cereal basically. And then all the other stuff. But yeah, my mom's always like, she wants Cheerios in there too, which is fine. Like it's not a big deal, but it's like there's so much stuff. But yeah, so there's like the 3 different cereals. There's mini pretzels because my mom puts mini pretzels in there. Cheerios she puts in there. Mixed nuts. She refuses. She does not let me put those garlic chips in there. And those are my favorite things.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
Chex Mix. Like they're so good. And as a kid, he never liked them, but oh my gosh, now it's like, I just suck on them, and then my whole mouth just becomes like one big blister. And
they're so crunchy. They're so crunchy.
But my favorite of the cereals in the Chex Mix is the wheat cereal because it's like not as airy, and it's more like crisp, crunchy. Oh, I love it. I love it. I don't know. I do have a bag of Chex Mix downstairs. I might have to get some.
Yeah, I think so.
It was really good. I bought that bag, and I bought the like nacho bag or whatever where it's like cheesy Chex Mix. It's not as good.
No, it's really not.
My kids really liked it, but I just like the salty Chex Mix.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a weird tangent. I'm sorry, but the whole time I've been sitting here, I've been like, I really would like a snack. And I'm usually not a snacky person, but I like broke the seal of snackiness in the last couple weeks because I'm just like, I was eating a lot of popcorn because I bought that Himalayan. I don't remember what the name of the brand is, but it's made with Himalayan salt and like avocado oil or whatever. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah, that is good.
So good. So I was eating that, and that I have to be careful with. I can't eat that when the kids are awake because they can't have it because they can't have popcorn until they're. I think they recommend that you wait until like they're 4. So can't eat popcorn in front of the kids. So I was eating that like late at night or during their nap. And then I got into those mission chips, the really thin ones with salsa, and then I ran out of salsa, which I still have not rectified. And I've been to the grocery store like 3 times, and I keep forgetting to get salsa. So I've been pretty upset about that. And then the Chex Mix. So. Like if you were to like show up somewhere, like okay, so I was thinking about this too. So I watch a lot of like reels that are like fitness influencers as far as like healthy eating habits. Not like you should, more like debunking stuff and like keeping you mindful as you view the internet. And the one that I like the most is this guy named Liam. And he's a nutritionist, and he debunks a lot of things that people will say on the internet regarding health. And a lot of times how he even finds these things is because people will tag him and stuff. And I guess Jillian Michaels did something where, because she's really good at villainizing things and like making everything so terrible. Like, oh, even eating a salad, you're like, I remember because I was like a devout Biggest Loser watcher. Like I watched every season of Biggest Loser up until like the 20th season. Like I was really into it. But I remember one time they all went to the restaurant because, when they started to, like, put them out in public to, like, what are you going to do when you go out to eat kind of thing. And a ton of them got, like, the Caesar salad. And then she ended up walking in, like, they're halfway through their meal, and she just starts going ballistic on them all because of how terrible they are for choosing that, because they basically, oh, sure, you ordered a salad, but then you put all this dressing on it and the cheese and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, you know what? You have a problem. Like, you have a problem, because is that healthier than getting something that's worse, like just a bunch of carbohydrates and, like, no like, it was irritating. Like, I feel like that would have been a good opportunity for her to, like, been nice about it. I don't know. So anywho, so when that popped up, I was like, oh yeah, get her. And she was going on about all these things, and I was like, why is that bad? Why is that bad? Why is that bad? She was like talking about kombucha, like, oh, kombucha's basically soda. It's full of sugar and blah, blah, blah. And Liam's like, no, it's not. It's got like 60 calories. Like, I'm like really debunking a lot of the stuff that she said. And I was like, good for you. I'm glad someone's calling her out, because she is like, she really gets on people. The reason why I'm saying all this is back to the snacks thing. I was thinking today, when I was thinking about all these snacks I wanted to eat, and I was like, it must be nice to be able to have the ability to eat as healthy as you possibly can. Because I think about it like, okay, so what is she eating when she wants a snack? Or what is she eating that's so much better than everyone else? Well, sure, if you can go and spend $1,000 on fruits and vegetables a week, and that's all you eat, you're on like a raw diet. Well, that's why you can be on a raw diet, because you can go out and spend hundreds of dollars on fruits and vegetables. Sometimes people just don't have access to all that stuff. So they have to, like, improvise with other ways, or like frozen vegetables or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so get off our backs, Jillian.
Yeah. No, I never liked her. When she first started getting popular, like when because when she first started, first of all, I don't like any reality TV, and I hated that show because she was so mean to everybody. And I thought, no, I'm not watching someone be mean to people who are earnestly trying to improve their lives. No, I have no time for
I
that.
was always Team Bob. I hated Jillian. I
Yeah,
couldn't stand her.
I just never liked her. But she seems to have all of her like opinions and things are based on like BS, like 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s diet culture. That's where it seems to all stem from. All that like not studied, made up crap.
Yeah.
And no. And then like I mean, obviously, weight is a sensitive subject for me as a heavy person, but as someone who does not eat enough calories to sustain like normal weight, let alone weight loss, my body is so messed up. I just gain everything because it feels like I'm starving all the time, and I have to eat more often and eat more. I don't get hungry, generally speaking. It's rare. Today I got hungry, but people look at me and assume that I just do nothing but eat, horrible fried stuff with cheese all day long. And while that's delicious, like I try not to do that all the time, obviously, but like most diet stuff just doesn't apply. Like I have so many hormone issues. That's where a lot of my problems come from. Like, and you don't know that just by looking at somebody. You assume that they always do stuff. Like, if they're gonna have salad, we have a Caesar salad. Well, yeah, it's maybe not the greatest dressing in the universe, but if you have it sometimes, who cares? And the cheese is a good source of protein, and like, it's still salad. Like, shut up, leave me alone.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I know. I've been learning a lot more about like the true importance of protein and the amount of foods that protein comes from. Like, so I will have a humongous salad, and I will put cheese and I will put dressing on there, but I also put like an entire can of chickpeas in it, and that's like 20 some odd grams of protein. And that's really like, you have to understand, like, there's more to just like calorie deficit and
Right.
working out. It's not always about that. It's about what you're putting into your body as a whole. And it's not good food versus bad food. It's energy. It's all energy.
All food.
So how does it affect you? Like,
Right.
sweet bits, like candies and stuff, that's not bad food. It's just the energy goes faster.
Right.
So
And
it's
also,
really it's more like makes you happy, like, ooh, yay. But like a chicken breast is going to keep you fuller longer because it has more protein than a Snickers bar. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish people would stop demonizing food. Like, you just have to understand what is going to help you be energized and fulfilled. And yeah, anywho, this is a book channel.
I know. There's someone there's a creator on YouTube I really like a lot, and she talks about different kinds of food. There's no bad food. You can't villainize any kind of food unless you're allergic to it. Then of course, knock yourself out. But like there's emotional food, there's physical food, there's brain food. Like all this stuff does different things for you. Like sometimes you need that Milky Way for your emotional self, for your brain to feel satisfied. And like, yeah, I needed this sugar, I needed this boost of whatever it is. I'm feeling sad, whatever you want to, it doesn't matter. But like, it's all fine. It's all fine. Because everything is, you just eat whatever. It's in moderation. You don't go crazy.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
I think when I was younger and I would try to like diet, anytime that I was like cutting stuff out, it was the worst. Because all you wanted was everything you couldn't have, and then you failed.
Right.
So now, trying to lose weight since having my kids, thankfully I found this Liam guy because he has just made so many things seem more possible, and I'm understanding food a lot more. I eat whatever I want, but I realize, like, okay, protein is what's really going to help me burn the calories that I want to burn when I burn them, and like different foods. But like, I had McDonald's today. I'm not sad about that. I feel fine about that. Do I have McDonald's every single day for every single meal? No. If I did, would that be the worst thing too? No. But I choose what I put in my body, and I don't make anything bad or good. It's just what is energizing my body and what is making me get to the goals that I'm needing to get to. So everything has its purpose. And Milky Way does sound good right now.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have Milky Way, but I'll think about it. Anywho, let's do one more reading sprint, and then we can say goodnight.
Okay.
So now that we're all hungry.
I know, I'm going to go grab my tea. It has to stay for 15 minutes, so this is perfect.
Oh, there you go. Okay. We are at the 50, so quarter after will bring us another 25 minutes.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay. That is the end of that sprint. That one was like quick.
Mm-hmm.
That one felt like really quick.
How'd you do?
Good. I got another, it looks like 7% read. So I'm at 68% now. I mean, I'll finish it tonight. Because like I said, it's like on the snowball effect, so it reads a lot quicker. You can skim a lot more of it. I don't know. I've realized as I matured in my reading, I skim a lot more than I ever used to. I mean, I used to read every word and whatever, and now like there's so much I skim because there's just like full paragraphs that are just like, yeah, this doesn't matter to the story. Like realistically, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, so I can like skip a bunch of stuff because it's like whatever. Just skip a lot. So, yeah, which is nice because I can get through books faster and not feel bad about it because I'm still getting what I need. So, how'd you do?
Good. I got 70 pages into Adam of the Road because it's really big print and there are lots of illustrations. And so far everything is okay. The dog's still with him. His dad came back to get him from studying in France, and he's with some fancy guy. They just got to this guy's home castle, and he's missing his best friend, but his dog is still there. So yeah, I don't know.
How many pages is the book in total?
It is 320, 317.
So you probably whipped through that book.
Yeah, I can, but if it gets too much, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. It's all right. Either way, I won't save it. Even if I did finish it, I won't save it. So, room on my shelf, which is all I'm looking for.
There you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, my husband works really early in the morning and he keeps like coming in here and checking on me. Like, how much longer? So I think we will be calling it a night. If you joined us here this evening, thank you so much. It was lovely to read with you. Definitely check out our community tab for April book selections. They're all nonfiction. So that'll be open for the next 2 weeks. And then the next time you'll see us will be on the 25th of March, 8 p.m. We'll do the live discussion of Caddie Woodlawn. So,
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else from you, Laura?
Nope. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, everyone. Hope you're having a great night, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.